On October the 20th, a lecture entitled Two Angelic Icons, Blesseds, Bishops, and Martyrs was held at Rome's Pontifical University of St. Thomas Aquinas, the Angelicum, summarizing the life of faith of two alumni of the university from the 1930s, Blessed Titus Liviu and Blessed Ioan Suciu. Both came from Romania and suffered martyrdom during persecution by the communist regime.
During the
communist persecution in Romania, they tried to divert them from their Catholic faith. The only thing they wanted was to no longer recognize the Pope, the Holy Father, to no longer belong to the Catholic Church, but to switch to the Orthodox Church. For the persecutors, it was a very simple transition. They told her, "You will keep your episcopal sees, you will remain as you are now, but no longer as Catholics, but as Orthodox." They simply said, without raising their voices, that it was an impossible passage for them, because their faith and their lives were one. They could not give up their faith without giving up their lives, which then happened because when the communist persecutors saw that they were unwilling to give up their communion with Rome, they put everyone in prison, where many later died.
Hanno messo tutti in prigione e tutti sono morti là.
Blessed Titus Liviu, after receiving a degree in theology from the Angelicum University in 1931, returned to Romania as a school chaplain in Blaj, a small town also known as the Little Rome of Transylvania. Considered one of the strongest opponents of the forced union between the Greek Catholic Church and the Romanian National Church, he was arrested on the night of October the 28th, 1948, by the Communist Secret Service. While in prison in the Culdurușani camp, located in northern Romania, he was consecrated bishop in secret by mandate of the Apostolic Nunciature. Out of love and fidelity to the Pope, he refused to renounce his confession of the Greek Catholic Church and was transferred to the Sighet extermination prison, where he fell seriously ill and died without receiving any medical care. He was buried in the Poor Man's Cemetery in Sighet, on the border with Ukraine.
Our faith must be manifested in the light of day, and therefore my choice as a follower of Christ, as a disciple of Christ, is not a choice that I have made in my own little corner, but that I have to have the strength and joy to witness before a society that perhaps does not believe in God, in front of men who do not believe in God. Not to say that we are bigger and better than others, but simply to be ourselves, to be friends with Christ. It is a joy that I cannot stop myself from witnessing to the people of today.
È una gioia che non posso impedirmi di testimoniare alla gente di oggi.
Like Blessed Titus Liviu, Ioan Suciu also studied at the Angelicum University, earning a doctorate in theology in 1932. Returning to Romania, he was appointed auxiliary bishop of Oradea, where he carried out an impressive apostolate despite the difficulties caused by the war and communist occupation. Through his apostolate, he strengthened the faith of believers who were beginning to feel pressure from the communist authorities to leave the Romanian Greek Catholic Church for the Orthodox Church. Knowing clearly that he would not renounce his Catholic faith, Ioan Suciu was captured by the communist regime's political police and underwent harsh investigations in an attempt to implicate him in a political trial. On October the 26th, 1950, he was transferred to the same extermination prison as Titus Liviu in Sighet. He died of starvation in cell number 44 on June the 27th, 1953.
Beati vescovi Liviu Chinezu e Ioan Suciu.
The bishops Tit Liviu Canizu and Ioan Suciu both died witnessing their faith to the point of martyrdom. They died in prison in Duras prison, death in northern Romania in Sighet, one in 1953 and the other in 1955. Certainly, their model of life is an example for us to overcome all things that can prevent us from having access to God, to live our faith, and when necessary, to overcome all trials to give witness to our values. This witness is a message for us today as we also live in times of difficulty. The Greek Catholic bishops teach us that during trials our faith is of supreme value, and we must rely on God's grace to overcome these challenges, and then give everything of ourselves to be consistent in our lives with our faith and with our values.
Essere coerenti nella nostra vita con la nostra fede, con I nostri valori.
Today, almost 50 years after their deaths, tribute was paid to these two blesseds whose lives bore witness to fidelity and holiness.